$4,000. You could do a lot with $4,000. You could buy a used car, or you could purchase 30 shares of Apple. Or let's say you decide to hold on to that money, that $4,000. You would actually have more money than half of all people on Earth. You see, most people carry debt, some more than others and in all different types and sizes. It can range from a simple credit card to a massive mortgage. These debts have to be taken into account whenever a person's net worth is calculated. According to a 2013 report from Credit Suisse, a Swiss multinational financial services holding company, in their report they noted when debts had been subtracted from an individual's net worth, only $4,000 was needed to be wealthier than 50% of the entire population of Earth, a number that today in 2017 stands at 7.4 billion people. Keep watching to the end because I'm going to show you the total net worth of all Americans combined, a mega number indeed, and the combined net worth of everyone, everywhere. An approximation, of course. Some places make it somewhat hard to get an accurate number. But for now, be happy that just by being debt-free and having $4,000 would make you richer than 3,700,000,000 people. There is a website from worldometers.com where, using statistics, they show Earth's population increasing in real time. Every person is the newest person at some point, a point that lasts for just 1/5 of a second before someone else takes the title. 7.4 billion. Earth's population is a large number for sure, but to get a feeling of scale, let's say you were a teacher calling roll for all of Earth. If it took you just 1 second to say the name of each person on Earth, roll call would not be completed for 85,648 days, or 235 years. Short on cash? Just use your credit card. Everyone else does. In the US, credit card debt alone sits at $747 billion. That's enough money to build a lot of things, but you would still be $153 billion short of the NASA budget, the budget for its entire existence. Or put another way, NASA's budget for its entire existence has cost US taxpayers $900 billion, which is equivalent to what the world spends on military spending every 200 days. Dealing with all these big numbers gets confusing for most people, unless you are a high net worth individual, that is. So what does it take to be a high net worth individual? A high net worth individual is someone considered to have financial asset holdings, which could be cash, stocks, or expensive paintings, of at least the value of $1 million. But that does not include the individual's home in which they reside. Referring to a report from the Boston Consulting Group, a little under 15 million people worldwide fit this description. The place with the most millionaires per capita is Qatar, a small oil-rich nation in the Middle East, at 17.1% of households there being millionaire households. This small country has the third largest oil reserves in the world, having 15 billion proven barrels in the ground, with a population of only 1.8 million on land the size of like 5 Denvers. So does $1 million make you rich? This is a complex question because richness is so relative. It depends on who you are, where you're from, and who you hang around. As an example, if you hang around with some people, $1 million is rich. To others, it lacks the ability to impress completely. Unsurprisingly, if you are rich, you probably spend time around other people more or less like you. This tends to have an effect on how people will answer when asked how wealthy they feel. A study conducted by UBS, a large financial service company, found that only 28% of people with assets between $1 million and $5 million said that they would consider themselves to be wealthy. Many attribute this to the effect of their peer groups. The more money that your friends have, the less rich you feel, states the report. Perhaps this describes the feeling of John D. Rockefeller. He was a billionaire in the early 1900s and is still thought to be the richest person in modern history. Anyway, a reporter asked him how much money is enough, to which he famously replied, "Just a little bit more." And in closing, the current global GDP, which is a measure of the value of all goods and services produced globally, is estimated by the CIA to be $0.83 trillion, of which Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and of course the United States take 46% share in the riches, but combined these 7 countries only have a population of 750 million people. That may sound like a lot of people, but remember there are 7.4 billion people, and with some quick math we find that these countries are just 10% of the world's population, yet take nearly half of what the world makes. Collectively, these are the G7 countries. And finally, according to that Credit Suisse report we talked about earlier, the total net worth of all people equals $241 trillion. Now what if we had all that money in dollar bills? Would it make it to the moon and back? It would stretch far further than that. In fact, $241 trillion all in single dollar bills placed short end to short end at the Earth's equator would circle the Earth 937,893.35 times.
Like all the controls on this remote unit, the volume is fully variable.